What happens to a miracle when you remove the magician? What does a team of destiny look like when the scriptwriter leaves the room? And here's the real question Bears fans have been waiting to ask out loud. When the game slows down on a cold Sunday, and all the motions, stacks, and eye candy vanish, can Detroit's quarterback still find answers, or will the noise at Soldier Field swallow him whole? Stay with me, because tonight we're tearing into the most fragile part of the Lions myth. What happens when the man who turned their offense into a weekly fireworks show is standing on our sideline, staring across the line and calling their bluff? We're going to follow the breadcrumbs from last year's no one-seed aura to a Week 1 reality check. Break down why their run game suddenly looked human. Examine how a stronger front can make a precision passer look ordinary. And map out the exact lever Chicago can pull to flip a division narrative that's been written in Honolulu blue ink for 12 long months. By the middle of this video, I'll name the names, lay out the decision that changed the North, and tell you why this matchup is about truth more than talent. You're watching Bears News Fan Report. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and join the crew. Around here, we don't do hype for hype's sake. We do football with receipts and passion. Welcome home. Let's set the table. The NFC North is a league inside the league when field position, late possessions, and kickers who become urban legends or cautionary tales. Detroit rode into 2025 like a rock band on a reunion tour. Big stages, bigger promises, the belief that their brand of physical, creative offense could out-scheme and out-muscle anyone. They earned the confidence. 15 wins don't happen by accident, and they earned the fear from defenses that started playing the Lions on Tuesday, not Sunday. But openers don't care about last year's banner. We all saw it. Green Bay jammed the run fits early, took away the first read, and forced their QB to live in the land of careful completions and little stress on the scoreboard. The box score looked tidy. The outcome didn't. Here's what a lot of people miss. When your offense is built on sequencing run threat into play action, condensed splits morphing into horizontal stress, pre-snap motion that puts linebackers on skates, it's not just about the play you call, it's about the play you threaten next. That sequencing used to feel inevitable for Detroit. First quarter body blows turned into third quarter explosives, and the quarterback played point guard in a system that always seemed one beat ahead. Remove the conductor, and the same sheet music can feel flatter. The notes are there. The instruments are there. But the rhythm isn't snapping the same dot. Now take that reality and drop it into Soldier Field with a staff that knows every tick, every check, every protection tell that quarterback. The Bears don't need a perfect plan. They need a precise one. You squeeze inside zone on early downs. You make the QB hold the ball a half beat on dagger. And you force the throws to the sideline, where the wind turns tight spirals into 50/50ths of a second. And here's the twist we've been building to. The headline is simple, and it's real. Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions must prove they can keep the Super Bowl dream alive without Ben Johnson. That's not rumor. That's the new map of the NFC North. Johnson is our head coach now. The architect who once taught Goff where the footprints would be is wearing navy and orange. And the question hanging over Sunday isn't whether the Lions have talent. It's whether they still have inevitability when the designer is gone. Facts first. Under Johnson's orchestration, Detroit layered creativity on top of brutality, orbit motion into crack toss, duo with a nasty kick out, play action with crossers slicing behind linebackers still worried about the A-gaps. That run game powered last year by a steamrolling line made their play action a true serum. Then the offseason stripped away a pillar. Their star center called it a career at 29. You don't replace that. You reorganize around it. Week 1 told us where the scar tissue is. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery were bottled early. Touches didn't translate into control. If you can't make safety step forward, the edges of the field stop opening like elevator doors. Goff, clean on paper, was trapped on a narrow road. Short, safe, predictable. Now let's talk Bears leverage. Ben Johnson didn't just draw cool plays. He taught a language. He knows how Goff processes trips to the field on third and medium. He knows the cadence windows where Detroit likes to steal 5 yards. He knows which condensed formations are dress rehearsals and which are live ammunition. Chicago can use that memory in 2 ways. 1. Bait and flip. Show Goff the pre-snap picture he expects against a classic Johnson concept, then rotate late and rob his first window. 2. Throttle sequencing. If you win first down against their duo whirl, their second down menu shrinks, and third down becomes a spot drop clinic with disguised pressure that never quite arrives. You're not hunting sacks. You're hunting hesitations. Does that mean Detroit is doomed? No. It means for the first time since their rise, the burden shifts from system to quarterback. Goff has to be the eraser, not just the reader. He has to own more of the timing, more of the protection edits. And this is the big one, more of the unscripted answers when the first pitcher lies. That's the test of a true January team. You don't get to the NFC title game because your coordinator wins Tuesday. You get there because your QB wins. 3rd and 7 at 4:11 in the 4th when the call wasn't perfect. On early downs, play heavy in the box with disciplined fits and lever spill to force the ball horizontally. Make Detroit string together 8-play drives into the win. On passing downs, start with 2 high shells. Mud the A-gaps late to muddy their slide rules and live in simulated pressure. Bring 4 from 5. Drop a defensive end and mess with his hot answers. Don't chase sacks, chase contested throws. If your corners tackle on the perimeter and your linebackers survive the eye candy, you'll feel the space shrink snap by snap. There's also the human element. Goff's best seasons, from the McVay tutelage to the Johnson Renaissance, have shared one theme: clarity. Play calls that stack, answers that build, a runway that keeps him in rhythm. Remove that clarity, and the game asks a different question. Can you manufacture it yourself? That's not an insult. It's the leap that separates efficient from elite. The Lions don't have to prove they can score. They have to prove they can solve. Chicago, once the scrapper, now carries the brains behind that voice and must pair it with blue-collar edge. The North loves irony. This is delicious. If the Bears' defense plays fast and honest, and if the offense cashes red zone chances to keep the pressure on the dream part of Detroit's dream season becomes a lot heavier to carry. Is any of this speculation? The claim that Goff must prove he can sustain a title push without Johnson is a statement of the present, not a prediction. It's happening now. The creativity tax is due. The league adjusts and asks, what's next? The speculative layer is how Detroit answers. Whether new play callers build the same sequencing, whether the retooled interior line regains its knockback, whether Goff becomes the force multiplier in crunch time. That's where debate lives. But the setup is factual. The architect is here in Chicago. The test is on them. Let's get surgical for Sunday. If you're Chicago's defense, you start with math. Against their 12 personnel looks, squeeze the C-gaps and make the tight ends block straight up. Kill the toss crack by setting the edge 3 yards upfield and forcing the cutback into help. On RPOs, cap the glance with patient safeties and dare them to hand off into a wall. On third down, live in disguise. Show 1 robber, spin to 3 cloud, then flip it the next series. Goff is elite when the picture is honest. He's ordinary when it isn't. Tackle, rally, and repeat. If you're Detroit, your counterpunch is simple and brutal. Win the middle. Lean on quick game to steal first downs. Test Chicago's nickel fits with duo insert. And manufacture 1 early shot to remind the defense that your arm still draws blood. But to get there, they've got to trust what they're seeing without the voice that used to confirm it in the headset. And that's the entire story: confidence transference. Can a quarterback inherit it? Can a staff recreate it? We find out. There's a final twist that matters in our house. The sidelines aren't just opponents. They're mirrors. Ben Johnson knows the quarterback. The quarterback knows Ben, Expect Detroit to self-scout the tells Johnson knows and overcorrect in spots. Expect Chicago to guess that overcorrection, then punish it. It's poker with grass stains. First to blink, loses a possession Dot might take before we close. I don't buy the funeral dirge for Detroit, but I absolutely buy the premise that their dream, as constructed, cannot survive on fumes of last year's script. They need proof, not posters. And until they show they can stack answers without the man who used to draw them up, they're a very good team with a very big question. For Chicago, this is opportunity disguised as obligation. If the Bears punch first, stay sound and run fits, and make Goff love in second reaction instead of first read, the North's tone shifts right now, not in December, not in January now. I'm rolling with the building that owns the architect and the crowd that turns timing into noise. You know the name. You know the colors. This is Bears News Fan Report. Tell me below, if Detroit doesn't pass this test, do we stop calling it a dream and start calling it what it is, a one-year run that lost its compass?